Professional bowling is usually a one-on-one affair. A showdown between rivals where only one can bring home a coveted PBA title. Today is the exception. Here in Oklahoma, the PBA pros have each other's backs as they compete in one of the most anticipated events on the tour. It's the Roth Marshall Holman PBA Doubles Championship. It's twice the action and double the drama as rivals become teammates. Pick it out and lift twice the hardware. Next on FS1. We welcome you to Sold Out Shawnee for the 2019 Roth Marshall Holman Doubles Championship. These two legends combined for 5 double shows, winning 3. Now the Hall of Famers with a VIP seat to see the present and the future of the PBA. Glad you're with us today, Rob Stone. My doubles partner, the Hall of Famer, Randy Peterson, here with you. High scoring this week enabled several new faces to make the television show, but Randall, there's a certain tag team out there that has the belt and looms large over this competition.
Yeah, there really is. You know, half of the finalists today have never made a telecast before. 7 have never won. And that's why I think all eyes will be on the defending champs, Bill O'Neill and Jason Belmonte. But an interesting story that transpired after qualifying. Bill O'Neill kind of struggled late. They went from 2nd to 4th. Bill thought he let the team down. So it bothered him. They get in the car, they're driving, typically tour roommates, they let stuff go after 5 or 10 minutes. But for whatever reason, Jason knew that there was something still bugging Bill O'Neill. He said, "Hey, mate, are you still cranky?"
Hey, mate.
And he said, "Yeah, I'm still cranky." And Jason made a great point. He says, "You know, I think we're in a great spot. We get through the first match. There's nothing but inexperience ahead of us." He said, "We'll use our intimidation and our experience to win this thing again."
And use that momentum with a potential early victory over a team that's not going to be intimidated, led by Sean Rash, to try and move up the ladder. You see the team of Sherman Miller both making their TV debuts, Randy. They are your 1 seed. But here's Kimberly standing by with your 4 seeds, Belmo and Billy.
Bill, Jason, you guys have made every Roth Holman double show since it started, and you guys are the defending champions. But we know that you guys are good friends, but what makes you click so well on the lanes?
Well, I think each one of us knows our role. His role being to do all the strikes. My role is to do all the logistical things. I drive him here. I make sure that his drinks are handy and stuff. And that's kind of how the partnership works. And hopefully he knows his role again today and does all the striking.
Jason, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't think I can disagree with any of that. And this is probably why we're a match made in heaven. You know, we both accept our roles and we perform it well.
All right, well, there you have it. Guys, we're going to send it back
to you. Know your role. Randy, your role next is to explain the oil pattern. And a lot of folks had great success with it this week.
42 feet, the Roth pattern. There's a little bit of forgiveness, and when you're dealing with the best professionals on the planet, they just need a little bit to take that and make big scores out of it.
Got the blue oil for this show, so you'll really be able to see the path that everybody's going through. Sean Rash there on the left lane, stepping up. Look, we talked about Bill O'Neill and Jason Belmonte. They're kind of the heavyweights in this fight. They've got the belts, and to be the man, you've got to beat the man. Sean Rash is not intimidated. He will steal a belt. He'll steal your title. He will not back down from anybody. Leaves the 4-pin. .98% conversion rate here on the tour for that single pin 4. And we've seen single pins spare conversions miss the first couple weeks on the tour, Randy, so there is a bit of yes, exhale from Sean Rash. Here comes Bill O'Neill stepping up for the 4 seeds. Bill O'Neill won the opening tournament of the season a couple weeks ago in Arlington, Texas, the Hall of Fame Classic. Made him Hall of Fame eligible with that 10th title. Looking for an 11th today, and he starts it off with a strike.
Nice deep inside line for O'Neill. His partner, Jason Belmonte, now steps up on the left lane where you're using the alternate frame format.
That methodical approach from Belmo. One of 2 Australians on the show today. 2 Australians, 2 Canadians. Can't wait for that team to show up. And 6 Americans.
And 3 two-handers.
Pin.
Unlucky.
Yeah, a lot of action around that 7-pin, but nobody wanted to drop it.
A lot of shrapnel going by it. Well, could have struck. Yeah, it looked good.
Well, here's a great story. Stepping up for the first time on television, 34-year-old Matt Ogle from Louisville, Kentucky. They found out they made the show. His wife, dad, and son all flew in, day of. His first effort on television. Drop and give me 10. Yeah, look at that sigh and the smile and wipe the sweat off the brow. And this was the reaction, Randy, when he and Rash qualified in that 5 spot just the other day.
Yeah, he said it was a dream come true. And, well, I'll tell you what, you could sure tell. Nice man, and we like it when good things happen to good people.
Absolutely. He said, you know, we grew up as a family, watching bowling on Sunday, seeing all the greats, Parker Bone and Walter Ray, Barnes, Tommy. Every Sunday we would get together and watch, and now I'm a part of it. Here's his teammate. Like he got something in his left eye. Quick step away. Strikes for Team Rash Ogle.
Much farther right than O'Neill and Belmonte. Sean Rash going a little bit straighter. Dealing with some injuries as of late. Knee, back, wrist. Actually dropped to 15 pounds, did Sean Rash, from 16.
Bill O'Neill struck in the first on that right lane. His partner Belmo went 9 spare. A little right of target, and he's in trouble.
Yeah, that was a good 3-boards right of his last shot on that lane.
He leaves the 2-4-10 conversion rate 19% on the tour. He did not like it.
I would have thought it would have been a little higher than that.
Let's take a look at our PBA playoff point standings. Sponsored by Volvo and the all-new S60. Follow no one. Top 24 make it to the playoffs. Buttriff with a win last week, sitting in first. Our good friend Rhino Page in at 19. Stu Williams just above the thin yellow line. Belmo leaves the 10.
Well, it's not often that you see Jason Belmonte hit the pocket and not strike. That was about the fastest ringing 10 you'll see. 95% tour average.
Not the start that the 4 seeds figured they would see. Strike, spare, open frame, spare. Ogle steps back up. Again, his first ever television show. What did he do when he came up for his first shot? Dropped all 10 in the second. Part-timer on the tour, said he's still going to be a part-timer. He's crushing it professionally in Louisville, Kentucky. Crushing it today on the hardwood of the PBA lanes as well. And you know who's watching this one? Wife Stacy, his dad Doug, son Gavin flew in from Louisville right there. Yeah, what a beautiful looking family. Gavin had a sign. He's got it down low right now. He was talking about his dad Doug, saying he's the reason I'm here right now. And boy, Ogle is strong so far. All strikes. A little ham bone for Team Rash Ogle.
Great start for those two. And that's exactly what you want to do, is take advantage of openings. And Sean Rash and Matt Ogle have done that perfectly.
Roth and Holman sitting right behind them, taking in this doubles match. Bill O'Neill striking the first, open frame in the third. Here he is in the fifth. Get down, 7.
All right, Bill starts with a strike there in the fifth for his team, and let's see if Belmonte can double now. A little light mixer. Belmo's slaughtered the pins in his first 2 shots, only to come away with a ripper 7 and a ring 10, using a phase 2.
Right at target.
Oh, this is getting ugly early.
You're not doing all the strikes.
Yeah.
There you go, some smack talk from his partner, Billy O. The 210 converted only 15% of the time on the tour. Another open frame. And this place is quiet. They are stunned. Belmo and O'Neill, they've been the 4 seeds, but they were projected to be the heavyweights of this tournament. But instead, it's Matt Ogle and Sean Rash with a huge early lead here at the Mark Roth Marshall Holman PBA Doubles Championship. PBA on Fox is sponsored by Go Bowling. For promotional offers, tips to improve your game, news, or to locate a bowling center near you, log on to gobowling.com. Team Belmo and O'Neill down 56 pins early on in this one, but these two guys have a long history together, great mutual respect and friendship. Bill's mother, Mary Ann, passed away in August due to thyroid cancer. Who was there to have his back? His partner today.
Just to have him there and him to travel all the way from Australia. He wasn't in the United States when it happened, and he took a flight on his own from Australia to all the way out to the East Coast. To be there for me and my family. It just it meant more than any words could ever describe.
I love Billy, and it was really nice to be there for Billy, but I really turned up to Mayor's funeral for Mayor, to pay my respects to the woman that she was. And I don't care where she lived, and no matter where I was in the world, I was gonna find a way to get to that moment.
That's what friends do. Right now, though, they are not seeing the game that they were anticipating. Down 56 pins. And Matt Ogle, who's been nothing but strikes, is here to add to that. My goodness.
Impressive.
No TV nerves there.
Impressive. There's your sign.
Yeah.
Daddy's bowling good. He's bowling more than good right now.
Yep, you can't do it any better than this.
Beautiful replay. You could tell there were some nerves from him when we met with him the other day, for sure. You know, just all the emotion to finally get to this point in his career. And he is handling it so well, so impressive. Six straight strikes for this team. Yeah, look up. You are running away from him.
What was mine?
580.
That's light.
462.
Mine's light, apparently.
You know what? Maybe Bill was right.
thought
He
that
didn't
was
want to
good.
be the 4 seed for a reason.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% sure of our, of our ball. Yeah, I don't think we did too good here.
Talking about ball reaction with his partner, Jason Belmonte.
Usually when I go light 3 times in a row and then I go high, it's not a good sign, right?
I'll let you know when I do the same thing.
Oh, you heard him say it.
Good go.
Went light 3 times and then aces it and it goes high. It's usually not a good sign.
Down 87. I mean, we did not see this coming. I don't think anybody did, certainly to this extent. That's no disrespect to Rash and Ogle, but these two guys are at the top level on the tour. And another
I'll
10
bowl
pin.
until I get a strike. I'll just stay here all day.
I don't think it's up to you.
No, the cameras won't be rolling. I'll just come back.
I mean, this is a train wreck. When was the last time you see Belmonte hit the pocket 3 out of 4 shots and not strike? Well, bad choices made on the fly, and that's what happens. You get a little bit of practice, and then you make your decisions. And I think what's shocking is that they're actually shooting 160 on a pattern that allows for fairly good scores.
Come on! First time, Kimberly, he didn't strike this match.
Guys, during the break, Matt Ogle walked up to his ball rep, Chuck Gardner, and said, I don't even remember my first shot. I didn't feel anything. They laughed, and then Chuck told him, stay in a rhythm and stay focused.
That's how I feel about my first bowling telecast. I don't remember a thing about it. I think I blacked out for about 90 minutes.
I remember it.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin, my
Yeah.
friends. No, I know. And what an impressive showing from this gentleman, 34 years old. Second year as doubles partners with Sean Rash. Matt knew that Sean and his original partner were no longer a team, and he just kind of came up to Sean and said, hey, man, if you need a partner, let me know.
If you need someone, I know a guy.
Yeah, and I'm that guy. And Sean took him up on it, and now those guys are up 84. Cleans that one up. So Ogle and Rash are now off the side of the lanes talking to their bull rep, Bill O'Neill. With the chaos ball in his hand, whips this one in. It's been a chaotic game for O'Neill and company. I mean, here we go again. 7-pin, defiant.
It's no wonder why I made the cut this week. Yeah.
Well, those two are planning for the next match. Bill kicks that one in.
The scores were high, right, this week?
They were.
Okay.
They were very high.
Yes, they were.
Well, they were high enough for Matt Ogle and Sean Rash, the 5 seeds, spin Belmo and O'Neill as they move on to match number 2. Every weekday morning, Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp, they go head-to-head, toe-to-toe on the day's hottest sports topics. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon weekdays, 9:30 a.m. to noon Eastern, only on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Time now for our Flow Bowling Tournament highlights. Let's start with Norm Duke and Wes Malott. Randy, they started the last round of match play in number 1, had fallen all the way to the 5 spot with 1 game left, and the free fall continued.
227 in their final match against Jesper Svensson and Kyle Troop knocked them out of the telecast.
Sean Rash, Matt Ogle were in 7th place with 1 game to go. They finished with a 279 against the Tang brothers, and they claim the 5 spot. And how about the emotions? Matt Ogle making his first ever TV show. The team of Brad Miller and Kyle Sherman were 85 pins up over Belmo and O'Neill for the 1 seed. They held on to it, so they take their YouTube game to the next level. They are your number 1 seeds. They are both hunting their first ever PBA Tour title today. They're going to have to wait and watch. Who knows? Maybe they're going to be taking on Ogle and Rash, 256-172. They won up by 84 pins. All smiles for them. Ogle with 5 strikes. Together as a team at one point, they strung 6 together in the blowout win over O'Neill and Belmo as we take a look at our strike track.
And Rob, I think part of the reason for their success is look how much straighter their angles were. You can see how much straighter Rash and Matt Ogle were going, and I think that helped them not only get to the pocket more consistently, but also strike when their ball did get to the pocket.
Today's Ebonite Flashback, Randy. We're going to take a look back at the 84 Showboat PBA Doubles Classic in Vegas. You know why? Yeah, because Mark Roth and Marshall Holman are in it. They qualified as the number 1 seeds, each averaging 216 during qualifying. But it was a low-scoring title match.
What a competitor.
They took care of Ted Hannas and Dave Husted, 169-160 for yet another doubles title. Overall, they won 3 as a doubles team. And the 2 of them standing by with Kimberly.
Thanks, guys. I loved watching that flashback video of you guys. You guys are known as a great doubles team. So what do you think of the teams out here today?
It's great to watch the new guys bowl with, the new equipment and hook it more than us. A lot more. And it's fun to watch.
And Marshall, is it still a thrill for you guys to come out here and be at an event with your names on it?
Well, it's great, Kimberly. And, Mark lives in New York. I live in Oregon, so we don't get to see each other very often. So it's great for 2 old friends to get together. And as Mark said, watching the young players with the dynamic games and with this incredibly explosive equipment, it's a lot of fun.
Well, we thank you so much for being here. I'm honored to be on the lanes with you guys right now. Guys, we're going to send it back to you.
Yeah, don't let Marshall go too far away. He's going to join us in the booth to help Randy and I call our next match. Sean Rash and Matt Ogle getting set to take on Team Canada, Patrick Girard and Zach Wilkins. We welcome you back to Fire Lake Bowling Center here in Shawnee, just outside Oklahoma City. 2019 Mark Roth, Marshall Holman PBA Doubles Championship. At the 2016 version of this tournament in Reno, Anthony Simonson, Connor Pickford, they would become, Randy, the youngest bowlers to ever win a PBA Doubles title. Simonson was 18.
Yeah.
Pickford, 23 when they won it. Amazing. Here's your Columbia 300 fun fact from the day. Today's event is going to mark the 54th doubles event in PBA Tour history, the first time one has ever been contested in the Sooner State. Sean Rash, Matt Ogle, set to take on Patrick Gerard, Zach Wilkins. One more look at the updated Stepladder as we welcome in Marshall Holman. Quite a unexpected blowout in match 1, Marshall.
Yeah, you look at anytime Belmo's on the lanes, you expect big things, and they just didn't get it done.
Rash and Ogle continue to get it done.
Marshall, and there's no secret why this is named after you and Mark Roth. You guys were just the team to beat. You won 3 of these. But I thought the reason why Sean and Matt had more success is because their angles were much straighter.
Yeah, you're right. And you know, Ogle, who I believe this is his first telecast.
Yes.
He looked very sharp, and he had just enough room left and just enough room right to be able to get it done.
Come on, Messenger. Just grazed the 10. That was Patrick Girard's first attempt. He was on last week's show as well, so getting a lot of TV time in the States the last couple weeks for the native of Jonquière, Quebec, Canada.
You're on that again.
Oh my gosh.
It was last week you couldn't stop saying that.
I told him, I said, I have no idea how many times I said Jonquière, but it wasn't enough.
And for a part-time player, you know,
right?
Top notch.
And he gave us the reacts last week. He's doing it again. He had some dances, he had some singing, some moves. Now here's his partner, listed as Zachary Wilkins, but he's like, no, it's actually just Zachary, but I've been doing so well with the PBA referring to me as Zachary that he was afraid to tell him to change it, so we changed it. Our graphic is right, but it's not what he wants. He's had so much success with the misspelling of his name. How quiet is that roll? The Messenger puts on the brakes.
And again, we see that deep angle. Both players are playing, both Patrick and Zach, and a little trouble getting the 10 pin out because of it.
I think they could have the same problems that the last duo that has left us.
Yeah. Belmo and O'Neill, unexpected problems. Wilkins gets that one to drop. So back-to-back opening 9 spares for Team Canada, the Hart Foundation of bowling.
My buddy Mark Roth, he's going to have to do the spectating on his own this game. I'll be right with you, Mark.
Looks like he found a friend right away.
Well, that's easy for Mark.
Yes.
I got a great Mark Roth story for you after Matt throws this shot.
Ogle 5 strikes in match 1.
Uh-oh.
Past the pocket, Randy.
Yeah. Well, you can see that his angle actually got a little wider on that shot.
Yeah, out to the 5.8 board. I love the new technology you've got. I'm really excited about Fox FS1 being involved in professional bowling. You know, this is a great time for pro bowlers.
2-for-10 game effort. It's only converted 19% of the time. And an open frame.
Just got a little bit too much of the 2-pin. Otherwise, he converts. So my Mark Roth story. I'm checking into the hotel here, and Mark is standing in front of me at the front desk, and he gets his room key. I check in. He's still standing there as we take a look at Sean's arsenal. Key 2 comes in light. Mark goes around to the little convenience store that's right there next to the front desk to get himself a snack. As I get my room key, Mark looks around the corner and goes, "Hey, Randy, throw this 3 Musketeer bar on your room, would you?"
Veteran move.
Well,
total veteran move.
Not the first time Mark's tried that before.
So it gets better. I get my receipt underneath my hotel room door this morning, and there was the bill for Mark's 3 Musketeer bar, $1.
Rash able to clean that one up. So strike, open frame spare for Rash Ogle. Gerard steps back up. The 01-02 Quebec Player of the Year.
2-time member of Team Canada.
Finds the pocket there.
Break point a little bit inside of the last shot for him, and that one faces up perfectly.
And you know, when I first started having problems with my game 20+ years ago, it was all because of the new technology and the way we look at lanes. You have to look at break point, not at the front end. And it's so graphically illustrated with this technology. When the ball goes past, 765, it's gone. It just can't get back.
First televised finals appearance for Zach Wilkins from Barrie, Ontario, about 40 minutes north of Toronto.
It's
Get down! Good job, Messenger.
Marshall, how many times did you see that back in your heyday where it was a ring 10 and the messenger comes across and takes the 10 out?
Never.
Well,
it just didn't happen. It happens a lot now.
Yeah.
And this young man really does let that ball down smoothly.
Yeah. Can't hear it hit the floor.
It's like driving an electric car. You don't know what's up on you until it hits you in the hip.
It's like curling.
Only
you don't hear that thing hit the lane, right?
So they say.
Big giant puck thing.
I understand.
I don't know what it's called.
It's a
curling.
It's a rock.
Ogle. It's all 10 to drop there.
Remember his last shot on that lane, that ball there at the break point was a good 2.5 boards inside.
5.8 was a 2-4-10.
Yes.
That went on the 8-board strike.
Rash has gone strike, 8 spare, and now here he is in the 5th, former player of the year. He's been fighting some health issues as of late. Pulled his piriformis. He's the 10, which is kind of your backside area and hip flexor and lower back issues. Put on some weight, but the last 3.5 months he's been after it. Told us the other day, Randy, he's dropped about 25 pounds every day. He's eating healthier. He's dropped drinking the soda. Trying to compete with these young kids out here. It's not easy. Slams the 10-pin down.
Well, that ball looked nice, Randy. I thought that was going to strike. It got to 7.7 on the break point and ringing 10.
I think that left lane's a little bit tighter. He may have gotten a little extra push, and that caused the ball to just come around the head pin a little late.
Saw a 3rd place finish last week at this same venue for Gerard.
Inside a target, right through the face.
Lucky just to leave the 6-pin. And, you know, in that opening match, you'd have made O'Neill and Belmonte the prohibitive favorites to start the match. Ogle never bowling on TV before. Ogle, Rash win. This match, you got to go, okay, we'll give the nod to Ogle and Rash, and Gerard and Wilkins are the ones that have the lead right now. So hard to figure.
Yeah, it's hard to anticipate what's going to happen because I think you're spot on with that. Covers the 6-pin. I think so many of these newcomers, these rookies, you know, take Zach Wilkins for example. It's going to be his first full year out on tour. They don't have that same intimidation factor that we used to have. I remember making a show and having to go up against you. I was terrified.
You started with the front 8, didn't you?
It was actually the front 10.
Wonderful. Left off his hand immediately.
Yeah, you can see the 2 different lines. The blue line is his optimal, ideal strike line, and that was a good arrow left.
It's all the same.
26-year-old Wilkins, full-time on the tour this season. He said, look, I want to live out this dream. He left his job painting houses, something he's done for the last 4 or 5 years, and he has given it his full go. And here you are, 3rd event of the season. He makes the show.
That wasn't our best shot there. No, that was a very good shot.
Team Canada still flipping the 5 seeds. We approach the conclusion of match 2 when we return. Mark Roth, Marshall Holman PBA Doubles Championship on FS1 rolls on. 5.5 frames in. Ogle and Rash down 18. Take a look at how the blue oil is holding up here, Randy.
Well, it's holding up, and you can see that this is the ideal line to be playing right about now. And then the players are just going to migrate this way as the oil breaks down to find some more of that fresh blue stuff.
Ogle and Rash, your 5 seeds. And it's Matt Ogle up. First ever televised finals appearance for him. His best ever tour finish. 22nd last season at the USBC Masters in Syracuse.
He made his first bad shot last frame. Let's see if he tightens it up right here.
Consider it tightened.
Yeah, he did. Randy, that ball was much more online.
Yeah.
One time, guys. One time.
It showed his rev rate real quick. It was 576. I think the highest we've seen to start the season, we saw Jesper Svensson get to 600.
Off the re-rack. Ooh,
Yeah.
It was 7-10 for a while. Now it's just a 7.
It looks like he moved right based on those numbers there with strike track, but his ball is real lazy down lane. This is almost a pocket 7-10. Catching the good break there to kick the 10 out. Marshall, I've always felt that the worst break in bowling was the pocket 7-10 because it was good enough to strike, and now you come away with an open frame.
Absolutely, and if you were prone to frustration, and I was, it'd drive you crazy.
Yeah.
That was really good off my hand. I'll take it all day.
The Mounties with an 18-pin lead step up now. This is Gerard. He's had success here in Shawnee.
Sorry.
So Canadian of him. Sorry. Sorry.
Kind of a Sean Rash move. Sean does that a lot,
Yes.
where he gets up to throw the shot, and then at the last minute,
We saw that earlier today.
something disrupts him. Didn't look like I got up his hand clean.
That was a good shot there.
He said it was a good shot. Looking at his rev rate, it was still way up there, almost 490. Not really sure why that didn't get back. There's one thing that Patrick Girard's really good at. That's clawing it at the bottom of the swing. I mean, he really likes to whack on it. 210, 15%, although the 410 based on our numbers is 19%, so I think this should be the same thing.
Get it! Yeah! Trey Bien!
Marshall, this is pretty cool. We didn't see this back in our heyday, but Patrick Girard gets up and actually throws a backup ball at the 210.
And that's just perfect. Got the ball to the left-hand side. I love his reaction. I'd like to see a man who cares.
Absolutely. That's your hammer tough spare replay. That's a wonderful pickup from Gerard. And the Jonquière native takes a seat. Here's his teammate, Zach Wilkins.
Keeps that momentum.
And the lead.
Quietest bowler on the tour. Got some work left to do.
A little soft with the speed, possibly at 17 miles an hour, especially with a rev rate over 500. That's going to make any ball break loose down lane. Strike track has shown us that that was indeed his slowest shot of this match.
80% conversion rate to take care of the 3-6-10. He got it. Marshall didn't like it at first, but the end result is good.
That worked out great. And Randy, don't you agree that when you get nervous, it's hard to get the speed proper? You get a tendency to get careful, you get slow.
Yeah. Start to aim a little bit.
And it's nervous time. It's down towards the end of the match.
Yeah.
13-pin lead. Ogle trying to cut into that deficit right now. Just the team's 4th strike this match.
Well, he's keeping his other guy, Sean Rash, in this.
Best one you got right here.
Now, if he strikes out
they have 218 max. Gerard Wilkins, 221 max. But Sean Rash can put his team in a great position with a strike here in the 9th.
He liked the way he threw the ball last time on this lane. Leaving that 7-10, 10-pin follows out.
Just his second strike here in our second match.
3-pin deficit now. That really puts his team in a great position to win this match.
Gerard stepping up, close out the 9th. Kimberly?
Guys, I just spoke with Sean Ryan, Patrick's ball rep. Now, they talked at the break about his first shots. They decided to make a little bit of an adjustment, and they said that he wants him to relax just so he can get his hips down at the finish. And they said if they get past this match, they're talking about a possible ball change.
Well, they may not get by this match now.
Sorry, buddy.
Fortunate that ball stopped at the pocket because it looked like it was going to go through the face for maybe the big 5. It just leaves the 4-pin.
Well, things have changed here since we came back from break, huh?
Absolutely. Right now, Rash and Ogle, they cannot be shut out.
That one curls in.
Come on, buddy.
Patrick and his teammate Zach right up there. They've known each other for about a decade, they were telling us yesterday. Friends for the last 5 years. Get along well. Nice communication between the two of them on the lanes during this match.
It's important to find a partner that you can get along with, not just someone who you know is a good player, but you know, the chemistry is very important when you're hanging out together for for the better part of a week.
We're going to
win a tournament.
We're going to have more on that a little bit later in the broadcast. Randy's take on finding the proper doubles partner. Wilkins, like you don't even know the ball has been released. Yeah, Messenger!
Oh, that was dirty.
Special delivery from the Great North.
Re-rack.
210 max score for Gerard and Wilkins. If he gets a strike in 9,
basically, if he
forces Matt to double in the 10th.
Yeah, there's actually a possibility of a tie as well.
Right. 218 max for,
albeit a small one.
218 max still for Rash and Ogle.
Correct.
It's a little delay here as he asked for a re-rack. They have one more left should they need it.
He gets 2 strikes. If he gets this next strike in 8, he forces his opposition to get 2 strikes in the 10th frame. This is what you like to see. You like to see it coming down to the end. Nothing he can do but hope right now.
Two big shots for a player who's never made a professional telecast.
Come on, get 10 on this. Come on.
It's asking a lot of a rookie to come into that situation and perform. And, well, I'll tell you what, there's no better feeling than when you can do it. He's taking another re-rack now. And you know what, Marshall, I like this move.
Well, he's freezing his opposition.
Yeah.
Whether he knows it or not. And, you know, as far as the rack is concerned, he just needs 8 pins. So the rack is really inconsequential. It's just make a good shot. But if I'm sitting on the bench and it's my turn to go up to throw the shots to try and win this, I want to get up and bowl.
Right.
And you're right.
He is totally icing Matt Ogle right now.
Another Canadian reference. Icing.
Well done,
Hockey.
gentlemen. Randy didn't even know that until you brought it up, Marshall. So Zach's going to try to forecheck Ogle and Rash into the boards.
Come on. Make him show up. Come on.
Matt Ogle needs 2 strikes here. Anything less, Gerard and Wilkins will move on.
And it's the two unknown players who have been put into the heat.
Ogle's first televised appearance. Dad watching him. So is his wife and son right behind him. And his teammate, Sean Rash. What do you got? Gutsy strike!
This is a feeling that Matt Ogle has never experienced before.
Both.
Now he's taking a re-rack.
Well, I think Sean called for the re-rack too. There's the family watching it. Yeah, both of them were saying, let's get a re-rack in here and make sure we're in the right piece.
I can tell you from personal experience with bowling with the great Mark Roth, if I'm up there and I'm ready to throw a shot and Mark Roth tells me to re-rack, I may look at him sideways. Sorry, Mark.
Yeah. Marshall, would you have taken a re-rack there? I mean, you're just coming off of a pure shot. You just get right back up and go, or do you take a little bit extra time?
I would have only taken a re-rack in this situation if the rack really looked bad.
Gotcha.
In the pocket, drops them all.
That's impressive.
But I'll tell you, that bodes well for the next time Matt Ogle finds himself in that situation.
Yeah.
And it might be next game.
You're out of re-racks, guys. Yeah, you've done your re-racking.
I forgot I took it. I'm sorry. I took it on the 7th. I know it's about you. I forgot.
He needs 7 pins.
About me.
Is that correct?
He needs 3.
3 pins. I was never good at math. Sorry.
Neither am I, and everybody that watches our shows know I'm not. Matt Ogle, 10 of 13 strikes today thus far.
20.
They're moving on. Safe.
Stepped up in the 10th when his teammate needed him most, and he performed brilliantly. Great job.
Son Gavin with the sign of the day back there. All good, Dad. Dad is on to his 3rd match of the day. The 5 seeds move on. Will the good vibes and the good feelings continue? Marshall Holman, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Little flashback here, Randy. The Woodland Bowl in Indianapolis hosted the 2015 Roth Holman Doubles Championship. Your number 1 seeds, Norm Duke and the big nasty Wes Smollett. They beat the 5 seeds at Don Barrett and Oscar Palermo. Walked away with their 2nd PBA doubles title. And yeah, get a ride, Norm. Get a ride with the big nasty.
The biggest size differential of any doubles team to ever win this event. Just throwing it out there.
I don't know if that's factual or not, but it certainly, I would think that would be the case, right, my friend? All right, semifinal time, match number 3. The Rash Ogle train continues. Now, though, 2 guys who've never won on the tour. Up first, Anthony Lavery-Spahr from Pasadena, Texas. Now lives, though, in Frisco, Texas, just north of Dallas.
His first time ever on national television.
And he's got a unique release.
Well, it didn't clear his hand very well, but he's got a unique style to go with that release. And let's see if we can show you exactly what this guy does. Now, he gets his hand way to the inside part of the ball, and then watch what his wrist does. In his ball rotations, it's very unique. Even though his positive axis point is 4.5 to the right and an inch up, which is very common, his roll looks completely different. And when we asked him why that is, he said, nobody seems to know.
Throws that one in for an opening spare.
It's all right. That one's over and done with now.
What was the words of his partner, Sam Cooley?
You and me.
Sean Rash encouraging his teammate, Matt Ogle.
Tempo.
Well, if this does come down to the 10th frame, Matt won't have to worry about finishing because that job will be left to Sean Rash.
Well, Ogle did the job in the 10th last
Sure
game.
did.
Leads 4-pin. 98% conversion rate on that one.
Nice break, tripping out the big 4 and only leaving the 4-pin. Matt does use his thumb when he shoots spares, Rob. Reminiscent of Osku Palermo, two-handed style, and then uses his thumb to throw spare shots about 30 miles an hour.
Strike for Rash in the second.
And again, this team of Rash and Ogle have played the lane straighter than any of the other teams thus far.
Here's Sam Cooley from Mount Warrigal, New South Wales, Australia. Part of that certainly sounds familiar.
Yep.
Jason Belmonte from New South Wales, Australia, but they're about 4 hours away from each other.
Belmonte from Orange. High rev rate, almost approaching 500. You see that at 478, and no surprise that Sam is in and wheeling on it, creating a lot of angle. Powerful guy. And again, that was a great shot of that bent elbow and cupped wrist. And that's how you create revolutions.
This pair, Randy, never lower than 4th at the end of qualifying rounds this week. Oh, he missed it. That has been a theme that no one expected on the tour this year. Single pin misses on television.
Seen quite a few. Jacob Buttroff, and he missed 7 pins in back-to-back weeks. And although last week it didn't cost him the title, as we take a look at Anthony Lavery-Spahr's arsenal.
That's a good teammate, huh?
That's a handful, and you're right, that is a good teammate. I got your back.
Yeah, I got you, Sam. Let's sit down. We'll work it out. Speaking of teammates, Kimberly standing by with the Mounties.
Thanks, Rob. So you guys, you know, this night didn't end the way that you guys wanted to, but you played well. And Patrick, you made 2 shows here in Oklahoma. What is your experience like walking away from this?
Oh, it's just great. I mean, got some new experience under the lights, and I think I bowled all right today again. It's just tough luck. I made a good move in the 9th frame, but it was just a little too late. My friend Zach held me up pretty good. This first show, that's crazy.
Now, Zachary, let's talk about that. This is your first show. Just a few short months ago, you were a full-time house painter, and now you are living out your dream here on the PBA Tour, making a show. Talk to me about those emotions.
It's quite the feeling. There's no better way to leave your job and then do this full time, and really your first tournament in, you make your first TV show. So I'm going to embrace this moment as much as possible and hopefully be on more shows to come.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to send it back to the booth.
Thanks, Kimberly. And those two are a great Canadian tag team. One guy doing the job, leave the scene, another one would come in and take care of it. And we look forward to seeing more from those two a little bit later this season. Meanwhile, Rash and Ogle strung together 3 straight strikes. Last time we saw Cooley, he was missing the 4-pin. It's all 10 to drop this time.
That's more better.
All right, another one right here.
Remember the first shot? We left the 4-pin. This one, he gives it a little bit more room to the right. Took its time getting back, but it's still 10. And more importantly, a double, setting up his partner, Anthony Lavery-Spahr.
They're down 22 early. Chance to start making up some ground, though.
You know the common theme for today, Rob? A lot of revs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of revolutions.
Bad day to be oil. .34-year-old Matt Ogle from Louisville. He and Rash, their second year as doubles partners. They've already won twice, trying to get to the title match. His second strike of this match.
Tell you what, he's been real impressive. And what I really like about what Matt Ogle has done today is, even though he's a two-hander with an extremely high rep rate, he's kept his angles in front of him, meaning he hasn't gotten real steep or real wide with his angles. And I think that's why his carry percentage is extremely high today. And also something that's enabled him to get to the pocket quite frequently.
His son is getting a little sleepy. Must have had to get up early to catch that flight. Now you can outfit yourself like the pros with an official PBA jersey available exclusively at PBA.com. They're made from high-performance fabric, can be customized for each person or team. All you need to do is click on the menu tab of the PBA.com homepage, select the Shop PBA link, and you are set to create your own jersey.
Come on, good shot here.
I'm going there to create yours.
I can't wait to see it. Looking for 5 in a row. That's the Sean Rash we know.
Straighter has definitely been greater today.
32-pin game right now. The conclusion of Rash Ogle taking on Cooley and Lavery-Spahr when our coverage of the PBA on FS1 returns. Another nice crowd here in Oklahoma. PBA on FS1 rolls on. Here's your match 3 strike tracker.
So again, talking about angles, 9 boards different here. You see the difference with Sean Rash is that many. Then you've got 12 and 13. And what's interesting is this stat right here. Sean Rash, 449 rev rate, lowest of the 4. He used to be one of the highest on tour.
But I will say this about Sean Rash. He's the only one of our 6 remaining competitors who has won on the tour. Rash and Ogle well on their way right now. It's moving on to the title match. Cooley, though, could get his team a ham bone and get him right back into this one. It's the power of the ham bone.
It always is.
Messenger kicked that 10 down.
Not yet, come on.
Anthony Lavery-Spahr going to take a re-rack after his partner shreds the rack.
Not yet!
So there's a look at Anthony. His identical twin brother, Sean, is on the tour as well, which leads to the logical question, how are identical twins not doubles partners?
Well, Sean just started bowling the tour back about 6 months ago. And Anthony was already committed to Sam Cooley.
Ooh. 4-pin.
It's a pretty good shot. It was just a little bit right, which you would think it would be more light pocket instead of heavy. But that was a good time to trip the 4-pin. It didn't happen for Anthony.
We met with Anthony yesterday. We talked about his goals, his expectations for this year on the tour. And he said, look, I put in a lot of work knowing it is a full tour this year. This is going to be my defining year. I'm going to go in saying, I gave it everything I got. And if it's good enough, then I'm good enough. If it's not, maybe I need to reevaluate things. He takes care of that spare right there.
That's all we can do.
Anthony and brother Sean have done a lot of bowling in this center. Mike Edwards tells us, Mike Edwards, PBA champion in our statistician tells us that they've done very well in the past in this building. So no surprise that Anthony got helped get his partner to this spot.
Rash and Ogle doing pretty well in this building today. working on their 3rd straight win. They're up 23 as we close out the 7th.
Pretty impressive what that man has done today.
He has handled the bright lights of television so well. Not only that, then the added pressure of the family flying in that day, having to, you know, kind of be a travel agent and work that out. Is everything here? You got your tickets? You know, Dad's got a lot to deal with.
I agree.
And he is acing this exam right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10-pin drops.
Come on.
7 straight.
I wonder if Brad Miller and Kyle Sherman are paying attention.
They are your 1 seeds. I miss the brashness of Sean Rash. It's always welcome in my house. It's cooling him off. That's a good teammate.
Yeah. Must strike for Cooley.
Off the 9 spare. And he gets them all to drop.
Max score for Cooley and Spar, 247. Rash Ogle, 290. Just right of 4th arrow. Caves the 10-pin in.
Interesting, both these guys on the global staff, so they said, look, our equipment matches with each other. We kind of know what you're doing. When you make a move, I understand how it's going to happen. Again, going into this teamwork, something you look for in a doubles partner. Lavery-Spahr in the 9th. Looking for a double. Not going to get it.
Inside a target, well inside a target.
That shot.
You heard him. This match pretty much in the books. As Rash and Ogle just need to stay behind the foul line, but very unique style. Watch the pivot step here. That one.
I'm going to assume that's something that isn't taught every day.
You know, it's just starting to develop more and more and more. You see it a lot with two-handers. That pivot step is so short and sideways. It's the new modern game.
Well, we spend so much time, Randy, week in and week out on the PBA Tour talking about the young guns and the strength and the revs. But here it is. 2 guys in their mid-30s right now. Kind of 2 old school guys getting it done here from the 5-seed spot. And this Matt Ogle is turning into be quite a story.
Oh, that was a good shot. And just so much straighter through the front part of the lane. The way Matt and Sean have played this pattern today it's been perfect, and they've been able to live in the pocket, and their pin carry has been very good.
And they've never been in danger.
No.
This is only their 2nd ever spare attempt in this match. Cleans it up.
Good shot here, come on.
2 more in the 10th for Sean, and they will shoot in the 260s. They will move on to face Kyle Sherman and Brad Miller.
He's the 10-pin, but he knows he's got more bowling today.
Yep.
Lavery-Spahr and Cooley done. Sean, you still got it. I see you.
His last televised title was in 2016.
Right.
And you start to wonder, is Sean starting to feel like one of the forgotten ones? Because this guy used to be one of the faces of the PBA Tour.
Well, he's still alive and still kicking. He and Ogle move on to the title match. We flash back to the 2017 edition of this tournament. What an atmosphere at Bayside Bowl in Portland, Maine. The place was ready to explode as Kyle Troop and Jesper Svensson lit the fuse on that party. The duo has fed off the crowd all night long. Won at 279-195 over EJ Tackett and Marshall Kent. the most fearless voice in sports. You can hear him on FS1. The one and only Colin Cowherd. He's bold, he's unique, he's outspoken, and you can see him on the Herd weekdays on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. All right, time now to go bowling with our Randall Peterson. Today, Randy's going to delve into the dark art of finding a good doubles partner.
What to look for in a doubles partner? Well, for me, a biggie was personalities. I always liked bowling with my friends and bowling with that player that had that real upbeat personality. And then also styles. I like bowling with guys that kind of mimicked my style or had the same ball motion. That way you can play the same part of the lane and get reads off of one another. I had great success in doubles tournaments. I have 4 regional wins, and they're all doubles. I won with Russ Kalouche, George Branham III, Walter Ray Williams Jr., and Chris Barnes. My big win was on the national tour in doubles with Carmen Salvino. And the one thing all these players had in common was they all knew how to strike.
Well, you did some epic bowling name dropping in that one, Randy.
Yes, I did. And remember, when it comes to bowling doubles,
yes,
it's all about picking the right partner.
What kind of partner do you think I would be for you in bowling?
Great partner.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm not very good at bowling.
Doesn't matter.
I'm not a strong bowler.
It's everything else that goes with it.
Take a look at our game summary, courtesy of Strike Track. We focus in on Sean Rash.
In match number 1, you can see where Sean Rash was playing now. 11 at the arrows, 6 at the break point. In match number 3, 11 at the arrows, 7 on the break point. So theoretically, all he's done is move his target left in 3 games.
Again, 4 competitors left, Randy. Only one has a PBA Tour title, and it's Sean Rash, and he's won 12. Coming up next, though, Brad Miller and Kyle Sherman, your number 1 seeds, pretty much untested on the PBA level. What a massive opportunity it is for these 2 youngsters, and guess what? Their match will be aired not only on FS1, they've got a little YouTube love that we'll talk about later. PBA on Fox is sponsored by Go Bowling. For promotional offers, tips to improve your game, news, or to locate a bowling center near you, log on to gobowling.com. Welcome back to the PBA on FS1. Time now for your uninterrupted title match. The 5 seeds taking on the 1 seeds. Kyle Sherman and Brad Miller getting their first action on the lanes today as they get set to battle Sean Rash and Matt Ogle. Take a look at your updated Stepladder, and there's a lot of Ogle/Rash on it. They started in the 5-hole, worked their way through a pair of commanding victories. Won the first match by 84 pins, a tight one over Gerard and Wilkins, and then another 42-point win in cruise control fashion in match number 3. But up next, they get to take on 2 guys who are YouTube stars, at least in their own mind. Kyle Sherman, Brad Miller, standing by with Kimberly.
Thanks, Rob. So you guys are not only teammates, you guys are good friends, but you guys are also business partners. You have a YouTube channel, and it's called what?
Brad and Kyle.
Yeah. See, they put a lot of thought into that one. Why don't you quickly tell us a little bit about it?
Oh, well, you know, we have a pretty good time out here on tour, and there's a lot of good backstories. So we just want to use YouTube to just create bowling content and share our stories and just share the life of the PBA that we live.
And I see that you have a fellow PBA member over there, Matt Sanders, over there filming for you guys. So what's the chance that this is going to get its very own show?
A very, very good chance.
Now, I know that you guys have this channel, and you guys talk about bowling all the time, but this is the first time that you both are making a TV final. Yeah. How are the nerves?
I was more nervous last night for whatever reason, sitting in my hotel room than I was today. But, you know, we're just going to be ourselves. We bowl together all the time, so once we're on the lanes, we get pretty comfortable.
Brad, your nerves?
I was actually good up until about now. But I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Well, we wish you guys the very best of luck.
Thank you. That's awesome. I love that honesty. Yeah. I love the 2 of them going for it, making a business around their antics on the lanes. Yeah, look, I saw Brad Miller backstage earlier. He was all smiles, upbeat. And look, as he said, and as we say, we kind of said it together, like, this is why you do this.
Yeah. I mean, they're two really good guys. They're so much fun, congenial. This Kyle Sherman is he's an up-and-comer youngster, and Brad Miller's a great bowler. We just haven't heard or seen of them until now.
So they're all smiles, they're all fun and giggles right now. Sean Rash is all business. Not the opening statement he thought he was going to be able to send to them, though.
Well, fairly close to what we saw in the summary, but not a very good result, as that ball kind of broke loose down lane, leaving the 4-7-9. And we'll get our first look at Kyle Sherman.
What do you think that open frame by Rash does to the mindset of your #1 seeds? Kyle Sherman, first ever televised appearance?
Well, Kyle does have some TV experience, as he was part of the Dallas Strikers in the 2018 PBA League. In fact, he was the last pick chosen by manager Norm Duke. But it's got to loosen you up a little bit, a little opening early.
That's how you start, kid. That's how you start them.
That was so close. That was about.
Yeah, that's a strike for Kyle and for
25%.
Brad as well. They needed this.
At best.
Let me take a look at Kyle Sherman's style with track technique. And again, this is so typical of the power game that we witness week in and week out here, Rob. But look at the cup wrist up at the top there, and then the elbow is going to bend a little bit, and then the open hand through release.
That was your track technique. Here's his partner, Miller.
Ooh. Unfriendly.
To put it lightly.
But their theme throughout the entire doubles competition was do everything slow. And they took it a few steps further. They walked slow, they talked slow, they did everything they could to just get into that slow rhythm. And that's what propelled them to this point.
Conversion rate for the 9-pin, almost 98%. Curls that one in. Both these guys from the state of Missouri. Brad right there from Lee's Summit, which is closer to Kansas City. Kyle from O'Fallon, Missouri. Here's Matt Ogle. His first ever throw here in a PBA title match. So impressed. Just so impressed with his antics today.
Yeah.
I mean, this place was dead silent. The ghost could have jumped in his brain, and he nails all 10.
Up on his toe, left toe there at the foul line. Just another great result from that. You know, we talked about Sean.
The open frame gets them all to drop in the third.
Talked about Sean and not winning since 2016, and if he were to go on and win today with partner Matt Ogle, there's some that might discredit that win as a doubles win. But guess what? I remember when I won a regional doubles with Walter Ray Williams Jr., it had been quite a few years since I'd won anything. And when I won, he threw that last shot for us to win. I thought I just won the Tournament of Champions.
A win is a win, my friend. Way right.
Yeah. That got out to the 1.2 board.
Said I was going to leave this.
How about just inside the first board down lane? Watch this.
Oh, my.
That could have been zero real easy.
Gravity could have won that one. This is his first event back, Randy, from right hip surgery that he had in August. 4.5-month recovery, torn labrum. Started bowling around mid-December. That's a real nice recovery.
That's a good cover.
2 for 2.
Kyle Sherman bowled his first 300 game, folks, at age 11.
Spared them both, that's all. Come on, Brad. Come on, Brad. Right here.
Nice job by Sean Rash coming over and talking to the other team.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Brad Miller. Sean's a better guy than you. You know I'm kidding.
So are most.
First ever telecast for Brad Miller.
Solid 9 last time up. Inside of target. Some of the slowest ball speed we've seen today, 17.4.
3-6-10. It is hit 80% of the time by the pros. Another good pickup.
And Rob, 80% of the time when you hit it there, you make it every time.
100% of the time. So strike, spare, spare, spare for your 1 seeds, Miller and Sherman.
I'm good. You know, is there such a thing as being too loose?
Absolutely.
Too carefree?
I think so, yeah. But also it's a good way to hide the jitters
Yeah,
and move
absolutely.
away from it. Look,
Yep.
I'd rather be smile and loose than tense. You know, this guy's handled it wonderful. Three in a row for the 5 seeds.
It's a great break.
Come on.
Those eyes of Matt Ogle, every
Right?
time he's looking at the pins, I feel like he's staring into my soul.
Yeah.
Take one if you need it.
Huge break.
Went up top to horse collar that one down. And again, remember, the 5 seed started with an open frame from the vet, Sean Rash. Since then, strike, strike, strike. They're up 15. Back on the strike train is Rash.
I got 2 left for you, all right?
Farrell Williams, Director of Operations here at Fire Lake Bowling Center. Thank you for your work all week here, Farrell.
Real good bowler in his own right is Farrow. Man, I'll tell you, the theme of the day has been angle, angle, and angle. As we take a look at Kyle Sherman's arsenal, he's going with a web. Seems to have been a popular choice for folks over at EBI and their players, their staffers.
His second strike.
Go, baby.
Well, he needs to get Brad Miller going.
It's amazing just how much different all 8 other players have played the lanes today compared to the way Sean Rash and Matt Ogle have played the lanes.
Here's Miller, 9 spare in the second, 7 spare in the fourth.
High Road X for Brad Miller.
There you go, kid.
Good job. And a 15-pin match halfway through.
Good tempo. Eyes down.
You see on the right side of your screen, that's Ogle's son hanging out with Grandpa.
Oh, that makes that spare a lot easier.
Sure does.
Quite a bit left at the break point down lane for Matt on that shot.
3 a late drop, so it's just the 6 and the 10.
And may have been a little aggressive with his hand on this one because his rev rate got to 588, approaching that 600 mark.
Covers that one.
Yeah, this is a point where it's easy to get distracted and start thinking ahead. And that's the last thing you want to have happen.
All right, good shot here. Come on. Pick me up.
13-pin match. Sean Rash, open frame, and then a pair of strikes. Working off a spare from his partner, Ogle. Again, Sean Rash, the only one of the 4 bowling here in our title match who's won on the PBA Tour. Looking for his 13th tour title.
Recently went to a 5-step approach, dropped down a pound from 16 to 15, but a really good athlete and nice positions at the foul line. Guy that's battling some injuries with back, wrist, performance.
24-year-old Sherman, part of the Mizzou Maulers as he drops all 10 there.
The Mizzou Maulers. That's brilliant. 3-pin match now, Rob.
Last time up, Brad Miller got his first strike on television, looking for a double and looking to make it 4 in a row for his team. Oh, late fall.
That was where I wanted it the whole time.
There's his dad, Kenny, taking it in.
Interesting because Brad just went back to Kyle Sherman and said that's where he's wanted it the whole time, and it looked right, quick, and it really snapped going through the nose. A great break, tripping the 6 out late.
Missed it. Oh, no.
It's a loss of focus. That's all that can be. Brad's a good spare shooter. And a 4-pin, one of the easiest single pins to convert.
They hit it at a 98% rate on the tour, Randy.
So there you go. Pretty easy. Strike right here. Ogle and Rash will take the lead. Max score now for Sherman and Miller, 220. So high last time on that lane. Now Matt comes in light. You can see his angle starting to get steeper through the front. It has to because that lane's broken down to where it's forced him in, and he has to start to look for a little bit more shape down lane. In order for him to be successful doing that, I believe he has to lower his ball speed. As you can see, that one was over 20 miles an hour. I think that same line with a little softer speed, he's got the whole right side of the lane.
Again, there's his wife, Stacy, son Gavin. Gavin's gassed right now. It's been a long day for Gavin. Taking a little nap on his grandpa's lap.
Big shot here for Rash.
Sure is. 16-pin affair right now.
One more shot for your teammate.
Working off a spare.
I didn't need to see that. And neither did he.
Let's go one. Great shot for your teammate.
Wow. Well, even though that's a crappy break, they still can't be shut out. If Sean Spare's here, Matt Ogle can step up, strike out, and shoot 225. Max score, Sherman and Miller, 220. But a strike there, and Rash would have made Matt's job a heck of a lot easier. But remember, it was just a couple of games ago where Matt got up in the 10th and performed.
And he's going to close this one out.
You can do it. Nothing you can do about it. Great shot. Should have re-racked.
As Miller and Sherman step up.
How many times have we seen single pin spares being missed cost players championships?
Sherman strike, 6 spare, strike, strike. Here he is in the 9th. Off that open frame, though, from his teammate.
Good job.
Come on. Slow, baby.
There it is. There's the mantra. Stay slow.
Two and good count will force Matt Ogle to get 2 in the 10th.
Now, we're going to see what Brad Miller's made of right now. Last time up, he whiffed on the 4-pin. Here he is in the 10th. So much riding on this first shot.
They looked left and grabby the whole way.
It's unreal, man.
Definitely left of target as you can see on strike track. The red line, a good 3 boards to the inside of target.
Three-pin drop 96% of the time. That one taken care of. One more shot.
Hey, throw this one how you want.
Well, if Brad Miller strikes on this ball, Matt Ogle will need 8 on the first shot to win his first ever PBA title. Title number 13 for Sean Rash.
Good finish, Brad.
Well, he'd sure like that first shot, the 10th back.
100%. They finished with a 200. I hope to see more of these guys on the tour. Make sure to log on to their YouTube channel.
Shot process all day.
But now,
Good tempo, eyes down. Just do your
the
thing.
story of this tournament.
You and me, one at a time.
I dare you to not be emotional right now. Matt Ogle has never been on television until today. The 5 seed. He was in tears when he found out he made the show, and here he's got a chance, just 8 pins, to get his first tour title.
Look out.
He got 8. He got 8. And 8's gonna do it.
It's enough.
Yeah, Gavin's up for this one. Oh, this is awesome, Randy. I got goosebumps.
Make it spare. Take your time, make it spare. Come here, bud.
Yeah, and the pickup, too.
What a performance by Matt Ogle and Sean Rash. Played the lanes completely different than all the other teams. He came out on top. Needed 8, got 8. And look at those eyes.
He's doing the math. Sean did the math for him. One more toss. That's how you finish. That's how you do it. Get on up there, Gavin. Congratulations, Matt. Hug it out, man. You deserve it.
Great stuff.
Yeah, grab the phone. That's what we do.
So glad you're in shape.
Sean Rash getting his 13th tour title, but he knows what the story is. It's Matt Ogle hugging it out with his dad.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Congratulations, bro.
All right, Randy, let's take a look at our Strike Track game summary, and here's your 2 winners, Rash and Ogle.
Well, again, we talked about it throughout the entire telecast, and it was all about being able to keep their angles nice and closed versus everybody else. Everybody was so open and really slinging it right, but Sean Rash did a masterful job of staying on top of his trajectory, and Matt Ogle did the same. Matt lost it a little towards the end, but found a way to get it done.
And they did it as a 5 seed. Time now for the trophy presentation.
Thanks, guys. Marshall, Mark, would you like to do the honors, please?
Absolutely. I will give this one to Matt. Congratulations. Way to clutch it out.
Thank you, sir.
And Mark, you can do the honors.
I will give it to my buddy Sean, who threw it good today, but couldn't carry the first frame of the last game. But they were lucky to win anyway.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, you made it work, even though he was saying you couldn't carry that. But, you know, we talked yesterday, and this was really emotional when you guys came into this. And you said you really wanted to win this for Matt. Why is that?
It's a dream come true for him, just like it was for me. So I'm so proud of him. He stepped up. His family's here. Couldn't be more proud that they showed up and supported him through this. And he, TSC eligible, baby.
There.
He's coming.
That's right. This makes you eligible for the TOC. That in and of itself is super exciting. But this is the first time you were on TV. You were clutch when you needed to be. You came through time and time again, and you did it all in front of your family. Yeah. Tell me the emotions you're feeling right now.
I'm just glad the first shot didn't go in the gutter.
Me too.
You know, just repeat shots. You know, do what we've been doing all week. Communicate and just make the best shots we can. And whatever happens, happens.
And now you get entry into the TOC. Thoughts on that?
I'll be there.
I'll be there. All right, congratulations. I think these guys right here are going to be signing those trophies for you. Congratulations on your first and 13th win.
Well, seemingly more emotional for Sean Rash than Matt Ogle. But look, Matt's been through the emotional ringer over the last couple days, and I think he is just tapped out right now.
And it's been a while for Sean Rash.
Right. A long time coming for Sean Rash. He gets that 13th tour title. Matt Ogle getting his first. Make sure to join us for our next PBA telecast coming your way live next Sunday, January 27th. We're on the air at 3 Eastern on FS1. We're going to be in Lubbock, Texas for the PBA Lubbock Sports Open live next Sunday, FS1, also available on the Fox Sports app. A day of history for the PBA here in Shawnee. Sean Rash, it's been a while, but he gets that 13th tour title. But the big story, that man, Matt Ogle, a part-timer on the tour. It's been a long time coming, but the guy who grew up watching the PBA on Sundays makes the most of his first ever televised PBA appearance, getting his first tour title. Rash and Ogle are your winners.